Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And in this case, we're talking about Heal 901. We're honored to be joined by their CEO, Durell Cowan. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing this morning, Jeremy. How about yourself, man?
Doing good. When you talk about working with youth and curbing violence and all the stuff that is going around in terms of the negative and turning that into a positive, you are doing amazing good. And so let's dive in. Give us a little bit of history for Heal 901.
Awesome. Heal 901 is a nonprofit organization where our motto and mission is cultivating the minds of young leaders. Understand the importance of what our future as a city, as a county looks like. We have to cultivate more leaders, and we got to start getting our babies when they're young. We have to combat the things that are taking place in the streets. If the streets are getting our babies at 8 and 9 years old and teaching them how to do things the wrong way, as a community, it takes a village to raise a child. So therefore, we have to intervene before they get a chance to get a hold of our babies and show them how to be true good leaders that will benefit everyone in the 901.
Where did the idea come from on your end in terms of obviously understanding the need and the gaps and saying, hey, I want to be part of the solution? So talk about kind of that spark that said, hey, I'm going to step in and let's get this thing launched and let's do this.
Awesome. That comes from taking my own personal pain and turning it into power. Growing up in the inner city of Memphis, inner areas of Shelby County, growing up in a single parent home, my uncle was a great father figure for me. And my uncle was tragically murdered in 2009 by the hands of Richmond County Sheriff's deputies in Richmond, Virginia. And losing someone that was that impactful in my life, I understood at that moment that it was important for me to give others what I needed myself. So I immediately just started helping young people any way that I could. My kindness was taken for a weakness one time and led to another situation. And from that situation, I understood that it was very important for me to create something to protect myself when doing this work. And from there, the voice came to me and said, if you had one more option to make a difference in the city, what would you do? And I said, I'm going to heal 901. It wasn't just a city thing. This is a 901 thing. It's just like going to a Grizzly games. When we go into the Grizzly game, when we walk at the FedEx Forum, I was just at the Grizzly game a couple of nights ago, but when you go in that forum, nothing else matters except for Memphis. People come from Nashville, everywhere else to come and support the Grizzlies. I think that we need that same type of energy when it comes to cultivating the minds of our youth. We need an all hands on deck approach. We have to approach this from various angles, and we have to put the resources into it. Benjamin Franklin once said that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of the cure. So understanding that, let's put more funds into the preventive measures instead of being reactive. And that takes the citizens. That's not just a government thing. The citizens have to invest in things that work, things that are making a difference. And if we've been putting our money in places over the last 20, 30 years and we haven't seen a result, that doesn't mean that those organizations are bad or that they're not doing the right thing. But that also means that there is room for other organizations to come in and support those that are already here. And at Heal 901, that's our job, that's our goal, that's what we plan on doing, and that's what we are doing. When you're talking about bridging the gaps between communities in various area churches and businesses to make sure our youth are in position to lead this county forward when we are not able to do so.
You all have a number of different programs. Let's go ahead and dive in. And
let's dive
about working with all the different ages and boys versus girls. You have something for everyone. And so let's go ahead and start diving in. Let's start with Safe Bars. I think that's an interesting one. So give us a little bit of background on Safe Bars.
All right, Safe Bar is a national program that was created in D.C. The state of Tennessee, UT Health Science, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, actually picked up this program and started using it around their campus area. The Tennessee Department of Health picked up the program and they wanted to spread it all across the state. We are in partnership with the Shelby County Crime Victim and Rape Crisis Center to bring this vision to life and bringing Safe Bars to Shelby County. I think over the last couple of years that we've heard about Memphis being a place where human trafficking is taking place. It's a hub. You know, the underworld of Memphis has a whole nother name acronym that goes for the city. And if you want to know, you might want to listen to one of those old 3-6 Mafia songs. But it's just one of those things to where there's an underlining thing that's happening here. And we have to get in front of that as well. So with Safe Bars, we go into the bar, any alcohol serving establishment, and we go and teach them signs of sexual assault as well as human trafficking. And when you're in places where alcohol is flowing freely or people are able to consume, it opens up a window of those type of things. So I teach the bars and we teach bar staff that when people are in your space, treat it like your home. If you wouldn't let someone disrespect your guests in your home, don't let anyone disrespect a guest inside of your establishment. And the training that we do, we teach the bar staff how to be active bystanders and not just sitting there and being bystanders. There's various things we can do when we see various situations, and we teach them safe ways to intervene. And we're proud that we have 2 safe bars in Shelby County right now. And we're looking forward to going to all of the alcohol serving establishments in Shelby County. So the way that any bar that would like to be a part of Safe Bars, we made it extremely easy. You go to safebarsmemphis@gmail.com, send an email, me as well, Hill 901, as well as the staff of the Crime Victim Rate Crisis Center. We both see the email, we respond, send you a form, we set a day, and we're coming in to train. We're ready to go. We just need bars to respond. We have 2 right now. The first Safe Bar in Shelby County was Pre-Day, located at Winchester and Riverdale. The next one was the Taylor's Union and the Pocket downtown. So we're looking forward to hitting various areas of the city. We look forward to going to Huey's and even at Applebee's and O'Charlie's and anywhere that sells alcoholic beverages.
Let's dive into the next one, athletes as leaders, and this is geared toward young women. And so talk about athletes as leaders.
Athletes as Leaders is an evidence-based program proven to curb sexual assault and domestic violence. And yes, we do work with the athletes. I don't do that part. I have made sure that we have one of the best people that I could find to be able to assist young ladies in that effort. And we're doing great with that. We've been in Green Dot Public Schools. We're looking forward to expanding, going into Memphis, Shelby County schools, as well as the schools inside the municipalities. One thing I do understand, the athletes are leaders. And if you change the mind of the athletes in this follower generation, we can change the way that youth who follow those athletes and the things that they do by making sure we're sending out good leaders.
Yeah. Touch on coaching boys into men.
Awesome. Coaching boys into men is the male component of athletes as leaders. So it's the exact same thing. We work with the male athletes. They are the leaders in school. They're the leaders at home. They're the leaders at church. They're the leaders in the community. So if they are the leaders, if I effectively change the mind of the leader, everyone around them will follow suit. And we've actually made some tweaks to this program, which was actually created by an organization called Futures Without Violence. And because of the work that we've been able to do with this program, I'm pleased to announce that I'm now on the advisory board for this national organization, which means that the work that we're doing here in the 901 is so impactful that the organization that created this program said the adjustments that you're making need to be made nationwide so we can get this to more youth. And especially with the NIL thing that's going on. That now that our youth can be paid for the name, image, and likeness, Shelby County sent out some of the best athletes in the world. But the Nike, Under Armour, and all these major organizations are only going to give the stamp of approval and endorse those and allow them to be wearing those brands, those who are the most poised. And when it comes to poised, that means your life on the field, on the court, as well as off. So we just want to make sure that our athletes are well-rounded and truly prepared for the next level. So with that program, I'm pleased to say that the only licensed master sports social worker in the state of Tennessee is actually a part of this team. So the organization, he comes from a background of working with professional athletes. That's his specialty. But he's lending his talents to working with young people and making sure that they are getting the same things that professional athletes are getting. If we get it to them young, we can make sure that they're ready for the next level.
Yeah, I love it. Nice. And I love the fact, like you said, the fact that locally we're being able to now shift the national narrative with you serving on the board and saying, hey, look at what we're learning here. Let's apply it in a larger context because, and I think for you having the relationships, but also to understanding you yourself having walked a mile in those shoes, it creates the trust, the respect, the empathy, all those things that really opens up these conversations in a larger context.
Most definitely. I think that our coaches do a wonderful job with the athletes. You got to realize that these athletic coaches are not just coaches. They become father figure, mother figures, aunties, uncles, big brothers, big sisters. And to add another task on them to say that we want you to do do coaching boys and the men and athletes as leaders, it's another task for them. So what we found out is when the students see someone from the community who comes in and give these things, it means so much more to them. To know that individuals who don't work in the school system are not in the schools every day, but are coming to give them knowledge to help them and get them to the next level. We've seen our students be extremely receptive, receive the information, and this is a data-driven program, so therefore the numbers prove that this works.
Talk about cure violence, shifting boundaries. Let's touch on those, and then we'll talk about the community outreach.
Awesome. When you're talking about shifting boundaries is a program that was created by the Tennessee Department of Health for our middle school children and showing them how to create healthy boundaries. And what we've seen is a lot of children have been in various situations where they've been victimized and didn't even know that they were victims because they wasn't aware of what was going on. So what we found out is working with the Tennessee Department of Health that COVID did a lot. It did a lot. We talk about the negative effects of COVID-19, but I like to show people the positive side. I think that there's always a silver lining if you pay attention to it. One thing our babies learned during COVID was I can ask you to give me 6 feet of space and that is okay. So what that means is I'm teaching our babies, if you enjoyed that 6 feet of space, you can still ask for that. And that can still be one of your boundaries. Because I enjoyed it for myself, Jeremy. And that's just me being honest. So sometimes I be in spaces, I just want my space. Doesn't mean that I have a problem with being around people or interacting. It's just for me and my comfort. Can I please just have a little bit of room? And you can go from there and show them how to create other boundaries in their lives. And what that goes as far as friendships, family relationships, as well as interpersonal relationships with intimate partners.
You have a number of different initiatives tied in with community outreach. And so talk about things like Operation Warm Winter, Operation Cool Down, touch on some of the outreach efforts.
Awesome. I'm going to double back 1 second, Jeremy. I forgot to talk about Safer Shelby, the Heal 901 Cures program, Cure Violence. That is a program that we're doing with the Shelby County Health Department. The Shelby County Health Department is now looking at violence as a whole as a public health issue, in which it is. Every morning we're waking up on the news, and every morning you're seeing something that makes you feel uncomfortable. So we understand that. So what the Shelby County Health Department and Heal 911, we partnered with Cure Violence Global, which is the global leader in violence prevention. They have doing this work in Trinidad. They're doing it in Nicaragua. They're doing it in Chicago. They're doing it in DC. They're doing it in a lot of cities. And we're pleased to bring that same type of effort to Shelby County. And we're excited. But one thing we do understand, if you want to prevent the spread, you have to put the resources into the prevention. When COVID-19 came, we put all of the resources we could into stopping the spread of this virus inside of our area. What that means is we have to stop the spread of what's going on and what's taking place when it comes to violence. So we have to put the resources into it. We have to make this a very important initiative. And I'm pleased to see that our Shelby County government offices are taking that initiative, taking that step to do something about it, and partnering with local nonprofits to be able to be the boots on the ground to make this work. And we're excited about this work. When it comes to our outreach initiatives, you said Operation Warm Winter. We're in the thick of Operation Warm Winter right now. At this moment, we're collecting hats, gloves, hand warmers, toe warmers, and Mylar blankets for the homeless population. What we do is we want to make sure that no one, no matter how indigent you are, that you have the ability to survive the elements. I understand that going into some of these shelters costs money. Everybody don't have that ability. And giving them a normal blanket is too much for them to keep up with when you're homeless. You got to try and keep it clean. But those emergency Mylar blankets, they can fold those in their pocket, and no matter whether they make it in a shelter or not, they can wrap themselves up in it and stay warm. Me personally, I have tried to use one and see does it work. You can wrap yourself up like a burrito and not feel an ounce of wind. So I'm pleased to be able to help our citizens that are less fortunate to be able to survive those elements as they try to live a more empowered life. When it comes to Operation Cool Down, our winters are not that bad, but our summers are brutal here. So understanding that we just want to make sure that everyone is hydrated, and also those of our seniors who are raising their grandchildren and have other babies and things of that nature in their space are able to stay cool. The same way we have warming center and our county have cooling centers during those brutal times. At Hill 901, we just want to be able to assist those who are not able to get to those places. And we don't want to give out space heaters. I mean, space heaters during the wintertime. We don't want to give out fans during the summer because you're circulating hot air. So what we like to do is get those portable air conditioning units and be able to put those in individual windows to where they can stay safe and stay cool all at the same time.
You have a number of events and ways that people can get involved. And so talk about how the community can help your efforts.
Man, if anyone would like to partner, be a volunteer, donate your time and or money to this organization, please go check out our website. It's www.heal, that's HEAL 901.org. And I assure you that one of our staff members will get those emails. You fill out that, hit the contact us link, fill out the form, tell us how you would like to be of assistance, and we will respond promptly. There is a major event taking place real soon, Jeremy. We have our inaugural Cultivating the Minds of Young Leaders fundraising gala. This is our first ever fundraising event of this magnitude. We will be at the Cadre building on January the 27th. We look forward to everyone coming out. I gave a snapshot of how we got started, but I'm going deep and diving deep and let everyone know how my life was important to starting this work, how everyone else could be a part of this work. We just need our major corporations, our major organizations, even the mom and pop businesses to donate to this effort. We see what's going on with our youth. We see what the problem is. We know that for this to be eradicated and to see effective change in the 901, it's going to take donor dollars. So therefore, we are having our first event where people can learn more about us. I've heard people say, hey, who is Hill 901? What is it that you all do? I would like to take the time right now, Jeremy, to apologize to everyone who do not know who we are and what we do. And I'm apologizing because I haven't been able to engage with the public. I haven't been on television and playing with, around the politicians and doing their thing because I've been busy doing the work. I had to see what works for Shelby County. Now that I understand, we have a formula, we have data that shows that this works. It's all hands on deck. We're expanding. We have a new mental health substance abuse counseling space that we're looking forward to do work in right around the corner from Matta's bus terminal, the Greyhound terminal, the Mega Bus terminal. We're right on the street. So if you can get to the Matta bus terminal, you can get to some help. And that's all we want to do. We want to bridge the gap between the most vulnerable population and the resources to help them live a more empowered life. Understanding that when you help families, you in turn help children. When we're talking about ACEs, ACEs is a big buzzword right now, adverse childhood experiences. Well, I would like to everybody to know this. When you're talking about adverse childhood experiences, you got to talk about the other ACE, which is adverse childhood environments. We have to make an effort of changing the environment that our children see. That's inside of our communities. That means doing something about schools. That means doing something about blighted property. That's doing something about the pavement and the potholes that are in the city, and making sure that we're having our voices heard with the needs of the citizens. When I'm speaking, I don't speak for myself. I speak for those who are in need, and I speak for our babies who can't speak for themselves. So when my children tell me this is what they need for the future to help them leave the crime and the other things that are sometimes pulling at them, I take it my effort, make it my business to make sure that the things that these babies hear, that I give it to the individuals that I talk to the same way they give it to me, and that's raw and uncut.
I love it. Well, and I love, just like you're talking about, looking at the environment just as much as the experiences. I agree 100%. So wrap up again, website, where do we go to learn more and get involved?
Most definitely. If you want to be a part of Heal 901, do not hesitate to go to our website. That's www.heal901. That's HEAL 901.org. We look forward to you hitting that contact us link. Fill out that form. You can go see our upcoming events. We have a merchandise line that is about to roll out, so you can wear some of this Heal 901 swag. And I'm telling people like this, if you want to be in high fashion and you want your dollars to go somewhere, invest in some Heal 901 merch. We have hoodies, we have jogger sets, we have stuff for youth as well as adults. Hey, this is better than Gucci, Louis, and Fendi, baby. You need some Heal 901 because you know that when you purchase this, you're making a difference in the life of a young child in your community. I say this, when you invest in the young people in your community, you're investing in someone and you stop that person from being a part of a life of crime. You want to stop babies from out here stealing cars, committing robberies, and things of that nature. Invest in them now. Show that you care. Show that you're in it with them so that they know that part, that'll be somebody who won't make you a victim in the future.
Well, thank you for all you do. Make sure everyone check out the website, get involved, Heal 901. So, Durell Cowan, thank you for all you do. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Jeremy, thank you so much, man. I look forward to talking to you in the future, man. You have an amazing day. And let's heal 901. So let the healing begin.